Right now at 8, firefighters battling flames and fatigue as fires continue to sweep across the Bay Area. Tonight, some progress, but another potential threat is looming. A special edition of NBC Bay Area News starts right now. Good evening, I'm Terry McSwaney.
And I'm Garvin Thomas. We also have Anusha Rasta with us tonight.
Yeah, Garvin and Terry, two of these fires are making California history, but not in a good way. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll break down just how fast they've grown and how they compare to the largest wildfire in state history.
Thanks, Anusha. Now let's get right to those fires burning across the Bay Area. One of the most concerning fires is the CSU fire burning in San Mateo and Santa Cruz County. It's now burned 67,000 acres, jumping about 10,000 acres in just the past 24 hours.
That fire now 5% contained. We have team coverage for you. Let's begin with NBC Bay Area's Marianne Favreau in Santa Cruz County, where firefighters held an update a short time ago. Marianne.
And a lot came out of that press briefing, Terry. What we want you to know is that the good news is that more help threats are on the way too. Right now, more than 24,000 homes and other buildings are threatened. 115 buildings have been destroyed, about 20 more than reported yesterday. But with more inspections teams patrolling the weekend, firefighters believe that number will go up. Today, winds cooperated, which allowed firefighters to make some progress.
A good day of firefighting today. The weather has been cooperating with us as it has within the past 24 hours. So it's given us an opportunity to jump on our control objectives and being able to establish lines in a variety of parts of the fire.
Right now, the north zone looks good, and the areas of La Honda and Pescadero are described as reasonably safe. Also, in Santa Cruz County, firefighters were able to create a fire break above UC Santa Cruz, and they have dug a second control line from Highway 1 to Highway 9. Aircraft did make a few drops today, but because of the smoke, they had to stop. Now, CAL FIRE admits they are definitely short-staffed for a fire of this magnitude, but the National Guard has been called up to help. Right now, National Guard crews are getting trained, and they should be able to offer support in just a few days. Also, crews from Arizona are helping right now, and more crews from other western states are on the way to help support this fire. But one other thing that is a big concern is that lightning strikes are expected in the next few days. And there's a big fear that those lightning strikes may cause even more fires. Reporting live in Scotts Valley, Marianne Favreau, NBC Bay Area News.
Definitely something to keep an eye on, Marianne. Thanks so much. Now, there are so many fires burning across the Bay Area right now. We've broken down the numbers for you here. This is new video into the newsroom of the CSU Complex Fire. That's the one we just got an update about from Marianne. New aerial video shows the fire burning along the coast and in the Santa Cruz Mountains. The CSU Complex Fire is massive. 340,000 acres. It is burning in multiple spots throughout Santa Clara, Alameda, and Contra Costa counties. Containment there remains at 10%, unchanged from last night. 5 structures have burned in that fire, while 20,000 are threatened. The LNU Complex Fire stands at 314,000 acres tonight. It is burning in the North Bay across 5 counties, including Napa, Sonoma, and Stanislaus. 4 people have died in that fire. No change in containment today, still at 15%.
You don't have to be anywhere near the flames to be smelling the smoke and seeing things like this. The hazy skies, this picture from Emeryville looking over towards San Francisco. The air quality taking a turn for the much worse today. Meteorologist Carrie Hall joining us now. Carrie, good to see you. The smoke a big concern, but there's a bigger concern, the potential for more dry lightning tomorrow night.
Right, and so we could also see that threat coming in as soon as early tomorrow morning. We'll be watching this radar very closely because this can detect lightning as it happens, and it puts an icon on the screen. So as of right now, we're seeing the surge in the clouds coming in, and we haven't seen any lightning strikes here around the Bay Area, but this is all caused because of a remnant of a tropical system. It continues to weaken as it moves across Baja California, but it's moving closer to the Bay Area. Let's track this right into our area because as we go into tomorrow morning. At about 7:30, we're seeing the colors change here. The green indicates there is more humidity, more moisture in the atmosphere. When you combine that with the heat that we already have, it gives a lot of energy to the atmosphere, but there will be an even bigger surge of that higher humidity as we go into tomorrow evening and early Monday morning. And that's the time frame when we are expecting stronger storms and more lightning strikes across the Bay Area, which of course we know could cause more fires. So I'll be monitoring this. We'll talk more about the red flag warning and the timeline of this, exactly when we're expecting that. That's coming up in a few minutes.
So much important information. Thank you, Carrie. In the North Bay, serious concern tonight. Part of the LNU fire burning near Healdsburg and Guerneville shifted directions. Firefighters hoping to avoid a scene like this overnight as flames raged across terrain. NBC Bay Area's Pete Serratos is live in Healdsburg. And Pete, where do things stand at this hour?
Yeah, well, you mentioned there the wind shifting. Well, I spoke to CAL FIRE. They're saying those winds are shifting northeast when it comes to the Wallbridge fire. So you can see the smoky sky. They're saying it could head west of Healdsburg where we're standing. But it's not the only place that's seeing this activity. Of course, there's evacuation warnings in places like Windsor. And I spoke to folks there, and they're not taking those warnings lightly. As the Wallbridge fire continues to burn in the rugged terrain of Sonoma County, surrounding communities are being told to evacuate. This includes the town of Windsor, which recently received an evacuation warning. Unlike an evacuation order, a warning leaves a decision up to the homeowner. For this man and his son, they're still undecided.
Kind of depends on conditions. We want to stay as long as we can.
We don't really need to evacuate right now, but you know, if they tell us to, we're going to. We could go to, we're thinking about going to Santa Rosa or maybe the coast.
Seems like every year's record fires every year. It's weird.
There's no indecision for their neighbor Ricardo. He says his family moved into this home after being evacuated from their previous home in Windsor due to the Kincaid fire. But once again, they're packing their bags and they're heading for safety.
Honestly, constantly every year having to move, it's a hassle, especially because we had to move from the other side of Windsor to over here because of what happened last year.
This is now the first day that we've had a shift in the winds, where the concern now is the fire pushing to the east as well as up and around to the northeast.
Paul Lowenthal with CAL FIRE says it's the first time these winds have shifted in this direction, but they prepared for this possibility, specifically doing airdrops in parts of Sonoma County. However, that possibility of dry lightning coming to the area in less than 24 hours is a cause for concern.
Our concern is exactly what we saw last week, where those dry lightning storm systems come through the area. The concern is A, that we could have initial starts, and B, that we can have some potentially erratic fire behavior with the passage of the systems.
A lot of concerns for these firefighters. Of course, CAL FIRE mentioned that a lot of these firefighters are stretched thin. In fact, they said some of them are working long hours. The hours they're telling us, for some of them, they've worked 72 to 96 hours straight. So that's a lot of hours worked on these wildfires. Reporting live, Pete Serratos, NBC Bay Area News.
All right, Pete, thanks very much. New tonight, a dangerous scene on the side of 280. Multiple brush fires burning in San Bruno. 3 fires breaking out about 4:30, the west side of 280. Officers still trying to figure out what caused those fires, but we are told it does look suspicious. 2 lanes of Highway 280 were shut down for a time.
Also new tonight, a welcome sight for fire crews here in the Bay Area. As Marianne Favre mentioned, out-of-state help continues to make its way to California. Utah fire crews are coming to help deal with the fires here for the next few weeks. Crews from 8 different fire departments in Utah departed today.
Everyone that's out here really likes to be able to help out and do their part.
One firefighter says he has experience battling fires in California, coming here 2 years ago to help, an experience in which he says he will never forget as he found himself in a sudden life-or-death situation.
Well, in the North Bay, exhaustion becoming a major concern for crews. As we've been reporting, many firefighters are spending 48 hours on that fire line. Normally, they spend 24 hours. CAL FIRE says there should be 3,000 firefighters on the LNU fire alone, but instead, they're forced to battle the flames with only half that number.
So we continue to ask for help, and more help comes in. But you're right. 48 hours, 72 hours, these folks have been on the line. They need the rest, and we're trying to get that for them. So it's very important we take care of these firefighters.
We just saw help on the way from Utah. CAL FIRE says firefighters Also coming in from 9 other states and 2 other countries to California to provide help and relief for those firefighters.
The LNU and SCU lightning complex fires are now number 2 and 3 on the list of the largest California wildfires ever recorded. And it all happened in just a matter of days. Anusha is working from home and joins us to explain how they now compare to the largest fire in California history. Anusha?
Garvin, that's right. I want to compare those 2 fires to the Mendocino Complex Fire, which, as you mentioned, was the largest fire in California's history, burning nearly 500,000 acres back in 2018. Now, that fire started on July 27th. 12 days later, it had scorched more than 300,000 acres. At that 300,000 acre point, it was only about 35% contained. Now, by comparison, the SCU Lightning Complex Fire has exploded. In the last 30 minutes, we got an update from CAL FIRE. Flames have now burned nearly 340,000 acres in just 5 days. This fire is burning in 5 counties. That includes Santa Clara, Alameda, and Contra Costa. Containment stands at just 10%. Now, we're still waiting on the latest numbers for the LNU Lightning Complex Fire. This is the LNU Lightning Complex Fire, but this fire has torched more than 300,000 acres in just 6 days. It is only 15% contained at that 300,000 acre mark. Now, the LNU fire has grown to now become, with the SCU fire, the 3rd and 2nd largest fire in state history. It is burning across 5 counties, Napa, Sonoma, including Napa, Sonoma, Lake, and Yolo counties. Now, both these fires were sparked by those unbelievable and unusual lightning strikes that happened last weekend. And speaking of those lightning strikes, check out this map showing where the lightning strikes sparked the fires, which interestingly, outside the perimeter of the fires that they started. This is on August 16th. But here's CAL FIRE Deputy Chief Jonathan Cox now to explain how the lightning then caused the flames.
The lightning that hit the area that first night on Saturday evening into Sunday morning, it struck in multiple places throughout the unit, both in San Mateo and Santa Cruz counties. Those fires obviously just grew from the locations they were at and then were wind driven in kind of that southeasterly direction. So there's been a significant amount of fire growth since those lightning fires ignited into the kind of southeast areas. Is probably why you're not seeing any actual lightning strikes inside the perimeter.
Okay, coming up at 8:30, we're talking air quality. Of course, a big effect on air quality, but we'll show you just how much the air quality has changed since just yesterday. Terry and Garvin, back to you.
All right, Anusha, thanks.